Welcome to Pitt tonight. We have a good time here. This is our 20th episode, and like our parents' 20th wedding anniversary, the spark dies years ago, but hey, let's just keep going on with the charade and keep pushing. So, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how many of you actually watch Pitt tonight, but this season, we've been doing something interesting, where we have a new sidekick every episode, and this time I think we really nailed it. We reached out to my favorite comedian. A drum roll, please. It's me. Bring him out. Stop it. You look good too. He's so charming. Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at the news. Okay. A mom in Plymouth, England was disgusted after finding used needles on the baby changing table at McDonald's. And you know what? I'm disgusted too. Because you can't just change your baby. That's your baby. You can't just swap out your baby because you don't like it. You want a newer, sexier baby. No, that's your baby. You had it, you have to keep it. And that's a Pitt tonight promise. Keep your baby. This week, the Washington Post reports Donald Trump pretended to be his own PR rep and called reporters to get himself higher on the Forbes 400 list in the 1980s. And what's even more interesting is that if you listen to the voicemail, you can clearly tell that he was jerking off the whole time. This past week, a woman declined to sing the national anthem at a minor league baseball game because she couldn't bring her gun. And I don't like the premise of this joke, but this reminds me that my next Halloween costume, I want to do a couple's costume with my boyfriend. He'll be Lou Gehrig's, and I'll be Lou Gehrig's disease. I don't like the premise of that joke, but I do appreciate the writers think that I'll have a boyfriend by October. So thank you, Lorenzo. Assisted suicide is now legal in Hawaii, and to celebrate that, I made a rap to honor all the states where assisted suicide is legal. Hit it! Hey, you got California, Colorado, Oregon, Vermont, Washington, and now Hawaii, and that's it. Bloody shoes. A Trader Joe's customer found a dead lizard inside a bag of pre-washed kale. Honestly, suck it up. First of all, that's a free lizard. Second, back to my first point, that is a free lizard, so check your privilege. A Facebook exec says that their questionable business tactics and even death are justified if they achieve their mission of connecting people. And I've always said sites like these are dangerous. That's why instead of having a Facebook, I keep a scrapbook of, said scrapbook, of all my racist family members' opinions and their birthdays. You're right, cracker is a slur. It's not. That makes, from a place of power, that's ridiculous. It's predicated, if you have power, you can't. A train carrying 10 million pounds of human poop has been stuck in Alabama for 2 months now. And I'm just saying, I signed up for Amazon Prime expecting my things to come on time. Where is my poop? Amazon Fire, more like Amazon someone should get fired. Am I right? The writers let me write one joke per episode. I wonder if you can tell which one it is. An Asian airline has announced that their female flight attendants will no longer have to wear skirts. You know what that means? That's the 10th time on Pitt tonight we use the word skirts. Bring out the cake, boys. Bow, 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 bow. Congratulations. Thank you. It was all Asian. We have a great show for you tonight. And give it up for the allies of the Boulevard. So you know I called you here today.
No, not really.
Right. Well, there's a rumor circulating that the former Pitt Tonight host, Jesse Irwin, is coming back today for an interview.
Andrew, you booked him as a guest. He's in the green room right now.
Yeah, literally just a second ago, you asked him if you could wear his shirt.
Anyway, I wanted to have a staff briefing to make sure that Jesse doesn't hear about some things that have happened in his absence.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should
that
probably.
makes
There's
sense.
some things we
Yeah.
really should
First and
say.
foremost, no one's to mention that I haven't paid you. In addition, no one's to mention that I'm also stealing your money. Secondly, he can't hear that I've been giving you very offensive nicknames. Yes, Slutcake 3. Slutcake 3, speak up.
Never mind.
Next, Jesse won't hear about any of the throw punching that's been going on here.
But you said it builds character.
Slutcake number 1, if you speak one more time, I am shoving this hand straight through your larynx. Yeah, feel bad about it.
I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, and another thing. Don't call me sir in front of him, nor call me by any of my other names. Dear leader, daddy, the next Bob Dylan. Default to Andrew, or Pandrew. Act like it's some kind of inside joke. Like, boy, you're looking very handsome today, Pandrew. Ha ha ha. Let's try it. Boy,
aren't you looking very handsome today,
Pandrew? Ha 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 ha. Stop it. So sweet. Next, you certainly won't hear about their underground ham fighting ring.
Well, what about the overground ham fighting ring?
If anyone snitches, I will hide your Pitt ID and you'll have to buy a new one for $20 every day. And of course, Jesse can't hear about our 3-on-3 shirts versus skin basketball league.
Why?
Because I'm not very good.
Is that the one where you wear everyone's shirts?
That's it, Slugcake number 1. Give me your shirt. You're out. Great. And that brings me to my next point. Jesse can't hear about the Russian hacking.
You mean the Russian hacking that's all over every news outlet?
Yes, it would upset him. He's a free spirit that believes in democracy and hope, and I don't want to crush that. Now, I have a list of things I do want Jesse to hear from you guys, okay? Number 1, I have finally implemented my first lick policy. Second, I've slept with a lot of the staff, so that's pretty good. Third, I make a mean quiche. Fourth, you guessed it, I got a big honking dong piece. Now, that's something I want you to slide in conversation organically. Like, ow, I tripped over Andrew's massive dong piece. Boy, it's crazy how manly he is. Let's practice that. Andrew's very manly.
Andrew's very manly.
I mean, thanks guys, but... 5, I've reached 20 followers on my Will Ferrell parody Twitter account. And 6, I do have full control of my bowel movements from now on. Any questions?
What's the first lick policy?
And finally, the murders will not be spoken of.
Sir, I'm sorry, Pandrew.
Ha 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 ha. How am I looking?
You're looking very handsome today,
Stop it.
Pandrew.
Slugcake, you were too sweet.
Ha ha ha. Anyway, about the murders, Pandrew. We have a live audience, and we're taping this right now.
Yes. The murders of all those boys' hearts that I broke, that's what I am talking about. Quick, I hear Jesse coming. Back to the broom closet, you slut cakes. If you find any shirts, they're mine. We'll be back with more Pitt Tonight. Welcome back to Pitt Tonight. Hey, if you thought, could Pitt Tonight get any more self-indulgent? Get ready to have your socks blown off. Because we have the old host of Pitt Tonight, Jesse Irwin, and his benevolent puppet master, our former executive producer, Hayley Omler. Hey guys, welcome to Pitt Tonight.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
Andrew,
Oh, it's so nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you guys. JK, we're friends. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be back.
So I've recently joined Pitt Tonight. I'm a newer person here. You guys have done this longer than me. Do you want to tell us, how did this all come to be, and why? Why was this a good idea? From Jesse, you kind of.
I don't know how to sit on this couch.
Do you want to sit back
Is
in the
this normal?
desk?
I don't know. What, sorry, what was the question?
Why did you start Pitt Tonight?
Why did you do this to us, Jesse?
Because I had nothing else to do. To be quite honest, I felt like there was a gap in what our university offered. And Jimmy Fallon came on The Tonight Show, and things clicked, and people clicked, and I don't know, it just felt like the right thing to do, and I love it. I'm just blown away that I'm here. Thanks for having us. I'm very stunned. I'm nervous.
No problem. Hayley, how did you get involved with all of this? Did you know Jesse beforehand?
I did not. I actually didn't even know he was in charge of the show. A former producer for us was the one who emailed me, and I thought he was kind of the one who was in charge. And it turned out that I guess nobody was.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have, yeah.
And no, so they wanted to use a theater space. So they went to the chair of the theater department, Anne Marie Duggan, and asked for if they could use, I guess, the studio theater for their first episode. And she said yes, but she wanted somebody in there to make sure they didn't break everything. So I had told her earlier, like a week before I think you met with her, that I had told her that I wanted to work in TV and try to do more of that stuff. So it kind of worked out really well. She kind of put us in touch, and then I went to a meeting, and we figured it out from there.
It was a mess when Hayley showed up. I'll be honest. It was a disaster. We were acting like we knew what we were doing, and no one had a clue.
I can relate to that feeling. So, do you have any guidance, any mistakes that were made, any beefs you started in Pitt Tonight that you didn't plan on? Because I've tried to start some beefs and no one's receptive. But I hear you've done in your tenure you had a good time making people angry. Well, any good beefs? Any good beefs with any organizations that walk backwards? That are the Pathfinders?
Backwards.
That made us take down a video?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
A couple of those. The Pitt Republicans were not fans of us because we kept bringing on Democrats. Who else? The Pathfinders were not big advocates. I think, no, they were, but I think it was the one video we made. Actually, the first episode, we had the Pathfinder video where the Pathfinders were saying it was what Pathfinders don't say. And so it was really inappropriate. And a year later, after it got however many views, we got called to the Office of Legal Counsel for Pitt, and they said that the admissions office had been complaining because when parents would go on YouTube to look at Pitt videos, they would see, admissions had their own content, which was nice, and then we had ours, and it would show up right on the other side, and it doesn't say parody, it's just Pathfinder tour, So a lot of kids didn't come to Pitt because of us, I think. But some did. I think we probably got kids to Pitt, too.
I think so. I think people realize just saying hey, sleep with TAs over professors. I think that's a good advice.
Solid advice.
That was solid advice. They grade things. You guys didn't go to college thinking that you'd do a late night show, did you? Or was that?
I didn't. I don't know about you.
So what, Hayley, as someone who's like, how has this changed you as a person? You came in as a theater person, then to have all of this happen, was there something that you were like, wow, I love this?
It's definitely aged me faster than I planned. But no, I think
It's not talking to God. It's just
I'm not talking to God.
no, but when you talk to God, you age. It's not. Like,
You age regardless.
it's like being
moves-
president again.
Time
I
moves.
interrupted for no reason. So.
Okay, so thoughts on God.
No, it's it really teaches you.
Sorry, do I look like a douche right now? I kind of like hate myself.
No, because you asked that question, you look like a douche.
Now I do. All right. Well. Continue.
Anyway. No.
What's the douchiest thing Jesse's ever done, Hayley?
This. Yeah.
Today or just?
You give all time and today.
Oh no, you should give me more time.
No, back to
prep.
the original question, please.
You do look like a douche when you said like.
There's
A little
no
bit.
right answer. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think you would ask me that question before most episodes.
Do I look like a douche?
Yeah.
What? Have you aged?
Just to clarify this, Annabelle, do I ever look like a douche?
Back to the show. Yeah. Wait, the original question was.
Oh,
Yeah.
has it changed me?
Yeah, how is it?
Oh no. I think you definitely learn a lot about like collaboration and patience. A lot of patience. But no. I think you definitely learn how to work with a lot of different kinds of people, and sort of being kind of put in charge or sort of like at the front of the big organization when you're a sophomore in college. Definitely like gives you some confidence in yourself. I mean, I didn't believe in myself that first episode. I didn't know what was happening, but I realized like nobody else did either. So I just started talking the loudest, which I guess has worked for men for years, but I figured it out, guys.
Fair enough, call it out.
I figured it out.
I agree.
No, so yeah, it's definitely taught me a lot about that, and I guess just how to prioritize and work with different people. And
All right, here's the thing. Hayley's a badass. And what happens is Hayley was a badass as a sophomore, but when she's working with seniors, it's really hard to get them to be like, oh, she's a badass. They're like, she's a sophomore. So it was basically Hayley being badass for long enough for people to then respect the fact that she was a badass. And it went on for 2 seasons. And so therefore, by the end of that second, everybody's like, yeah, like Hayley's being really mean, but she's also totally right. So like, I don't know. Annabelle, I don't know what you're
Yeah.
experiencing, but I promise you, it works out.
yeah, everyone was real nice to me.
What?
She is. Yeah, Annabelle.
Well, now we have to clap. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I don't know. I think that's how I would describe your journey.
Oh, thanks.
Yep, you're welcome.
Jesse, thank you so much for explaining Hayley's journey to me. Thank you for mansplaining Hayley's life to me. That was
I just-
lovely.
Talking
That was
louder than, yeah.
lovely. Yeah.
There it is. That was the douchiest
Yeah.
second. Maybe.
You've had both of you done a lot with Pitt tonight. What's your proudest moment that you feel like, wow, that was lovely? Like, is there anything in particular that sticks out as something that you're like gonna hold on for a while?
I think so when we, we had last year and in the first year and the second year, we had issues with the staff where it's strong personalities and they're all, there's a dynamic where everybody's, wants to, have their opinion be right, but they're trying to respect others at the same time. And you've got, marketing people, theater people, music people, and writing, and it's like a lot. And I think one of the things I'm most proud of, honestly, was that every year we were able to take a moment, sit down with everyone, and just regroup. And all these people who were creative in their own way were able to kind of see the bigger picture and create, we have an apprenticeship program within Pitt Tonight where people are training to take over roles. That is awesome. And I don't think many college organizations have something like that. So if there's one thing I'm proud of, we basically created the ultimate internship.
Fair enough, Hayley.
Don't clap for that.
He's been pitching that for years.
That was a stump speech.
Yeah, no, I would definitely say, I mean, you can't really beat the feeling of like that first episode because, the finales are wonderful and having, some incredible people on, like having the mayor on was incredible and different things like that. But there's like a rush, especially with that first episode, of just that question of like, are we even gonna pull this off? Like, is this even gonna happen? So when it did, it was kind of, felt like a miracle. Because it was insane, that first episode.
There's pictures of the audience from that episode where like they're kind of just in shock because they all came to see like what they thought was just going to be a recital.
Yeah.
And it ended up being, I don't think anybody, the only person who seemed to know it was going to happen was Ophelia, who was the cafeteria lady. And she was honestly, the whole time, she's just so confident through the whole thing. But it was pretty neat. I agree with that.
But I also agree with Jesse. I mean, I think when you look back, the thing that I'm like most proud of with it is the fact that we really were able to kind of be a catalyst for so many people. There's already so many people at Pitt who wanted to do things and to make things, and I think Pitt Tonight was like kind of like was able to show that like you can do those things. You can be like some kid with a dream, and which that's you.
I mean, it's any of us, really.
No, but
yeah.
And I think if you look at the past couple years, like stuff that's happened since, I mean, there's been just a lot more content being made, a lot more student projects that have been able to go through, and I mean that's because of them. I mean, they did that, but I think Pitt Tonight definitely kind of helps because it just shows the university and it shows people that like we know what we're doing and we can make really cool things.
Oh, I think it motivated like a ton of stuff to
Absolutely.
to feel.
I can't thank you two enough for everything. As I don't know, this is gonna be savvy, but like as a kid with a dream who just was like, I don't know, just a weird kid who just was doing improv in like algebra lecture halls like freshman year.
You still do that.
Yeah.
I still do. I can't thank you guys both enough, and I love you both so much. And I respect you both so much. And thank you so. This is just when Jesse told me I was the host of Pitt Tonight.
You should tell that. That was such a dramatic thing. You should tell that story.
I was leading into that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like backseat producing right now, and it's so bad. I'm sorry.
Jesse gave me a watch that was broken, but I still can't. It wasn't. It just doesn't tell time right. But it's. That's not the point. And I carry it pretty much wherever I go, and I carry it for any show I do, any test, anything really, because it meant so much to me. Because I don't know, it just was this recognition of like, hey, you got it, kid. You're like, keep going. And I love you both so much, and thank you for everything. Everyone here is so grateful for everything you've done for us, and we'll be back with more Pitt Tonight. Welcome back to Pitt Tonight. Our next guest, I couldn't be more excited. Give it up for Cardi. She's pregnant. Oh, well, that's great. Well, everyone, you know that Walmart yodeling boy. He's on Ellen. Okay, well, give it up for my best friend, Dominic Hendrikson. Hey, Dom.
Hey.
Hey, girl, what's up?
Long time no see.
Long time no see. Now, I remember when I first met Dominic, and I thought he was the meanest, scariest person ever. He just was standing there and just like an elf, in a regalia similar to this, and just looking, like just like ice cold at just like nothing, and just was being so intense. And I think I'm right about that.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. Do you remember what your first, like, how do you recall that memory?
Well, I remember similarly, but instead of that, I remember you pointing at a tray of green muffins and going, look at those muffins, they're green. And I thought to myself, this is the weirdest man I think I've ever encountered with, and did you just initiate a conversation with me by saying, look at those muffins, they're green?
I will point out they were green.
True.
That's weird, right? Like, that is a weird thing.
Yeah, but, like, I
they were
don't-
pistachio flavored muffins that were green.
But I don't know if that's like the way to like initiate a conversation.
Hello, Dominic, these muffins are green. Isn't that interesting?
Cool, Andrew. And that's how it went.
And the rest is kind of history. Just looking at these notes about this. There's a lot of things about me on this. Guess what? That's what we're going to talk about.
Oh,
boy.
great.
Oh, brother. So, do you want to talk about this? What was your first impression of me? That was a weirdo?
Yeah, no, I really was just like, first of all, you are very tall
I
and
am.
have no coordination. So like interacting with you, you don't know if like your left arm's gonna hit you across the face or what. So like that was kind of scary. But I mean, besides like the initiation of the green muffins, like I was like, okay, this kid, he's gonna be pretty cool. He's gonna be fun.
Thanks. I like to control my body. I think I can walk well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. It says, what's your favorite thing about me? Is it that?
I want to say my favorite thing about you is that like, and I feel like we share this quality. We're both just like big
Bad
kid. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But we're also just like big babies. Like just like big children. Like if we don't get our way, we'll
can't.
throw a fit.
Dominic and I are the most emotional, bratty people to ever exist.
We're like little twin girls that run around, and if they don't get their way, they throw a fit. And like, that's not gonna change.
It's not gonna change. We're not very likable people.
No.
I love this. Is just, how is it the only time for us to hang out is on my talk show?
Yeah, no, honestly, well, first of all, you're busy with your talk show, and I'm
Dominic
busy.
does other things. This is the thing about Dominic. I do pitch and I do all these things, and like, it's like, ooh, like I film it. I'm like, oh, look at him, I'm doing stuff, like, good. I can go anywhere with Dominic, and it's just like, we were walking once in South O, in the middle of hey, are you Dominic Hendrikson on Instagram? And it just was like, oh no.
It's hard being celebrities like us. Like, it's hard. It's hard being a Pitt celebrity. I mean, I hate myself for that, but.
I love you for that.
And that's why we get along.
That's why we get along. Other things we can talk about. I want to talk about anything fun, anything,
I mean,
any gossip?
oh, the hot gossip?
Any gossip? Probably.
Let me see. What are you thinking? Yes.
This is so stupid.
I love it. The hot gossip. Well, the other day
Who are you?
The other day, I walked into Dunkin' and I had ordered on my
loves
phone.
Dunkin' Donuts so much.
And my order wasn't ready for like 5 minutes. Can you imagine?
Did you throw a fit?
Of course. Who wouldn't?
Most people. Most adults.
Going back to what I said earlier, I'm
We
not
are
an
babies.
adult.
We are babies in every facet of the word. This is just gonna be a soft camera moment. Emotional. Okay. We're gonna talk about other funny things later, but Dominic is by far my favorite people in the world.
Stop.
Okay, well, never mind. No, not. If you couldn't tell, Dominic and I are both very gay men.
You really just exposed me like that.
Yeah, and so did that pink panel.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I came to Pitt not really having any gay friends. I was very lonely in a lot of respects. It's fine. But then I met Dominic, and Dominic just is like, he's like a brother to me in so many ways, and like, I love him so much, and I'm so happy you're here because I love to talk to you so much, even if it's like very stiff on a couch in front of a bunch of people.
Listen, I love it, and being here is like so important to me because I know how much this means to you, so it equally means that much to me. That's what we were looking for earlier.
Dominic does a lot of activities. He likes to row. Tell us about that. You do sports.
Yeah, I'm a sports boy, kind of. I tried rowing this year, and it's gotten me calluses on my hand.
And he's not fond of that.
Now I bite my nails and have calluses on my hands, so my career as a hand model is out the door.
But your career as so Dominic's entered a competition. Would you like to talk about it as a model?
Yeah, as a future model, I entered myself into an online competition to become a model because instead of doing my schoolwork, I was like, might as well do something productive with my time. So I took 2.5 hours and I crafted a modeling portfolio and sent it out to an online competition. So if you ever want to vote for me, on the Chubby's website, you can find Dominic Hendrikson, a model, and your vote counts for only 10% of the actual vote. So it's much like the American voting system.
Oh, we're very political on this show.
I hate that.
I don't like you. It's not true. So we both have a love of fashion and models. Let's go through our
yes.
favorite people.
Okay.
This is for us.
You guys don't have to listen. I'm kidding. Please listen.
I don't think they have a choice. We're at mics.
Yeah. Who do I love?
Who are you feeling right now?
Right now, well, I'm a huge fan of Kaya Gerber.
I knew you were going to say that.
Cindy Crawford's daughter could do no wrong. Walk out in a trash bag, snaps.
She's pretty good.
She's great.
My personal favorite is Molly Bear. She's a very great model. She does things for the mosquito. She's fantastic. I also went to high school with her. And
Tell me about her.
I've had one interaction with her at a party.
Did she hit you?
No, I shook her hand and she said, "Wow, your hands are really sweaty and gross." And then
Did you gag?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm touching royalty.
Yeah, she's very talented at being tall.
Tall.
She's
and-
super tall.
Tall and pretty.
She's very pretty.
Oh, it's so hard being tall and pretty.
Oh my God, Dominic.
We would know. No, not a fan of that one?
No, I am a fan of it. I just find you funny, and I know. Let's see, is there anything else you want to talk about? Any good question? So I'm interviewing Jesse Andrews next. I'm excited for that. I'm a little nervous, but I think it's going to go well.
I'm hopeful.
I'm hopeful too.
I mean, you have yourself.
Dominic, that's a terrible.
I mean, you want me to give you a pep talk right now? Okay, Andrew. Listen, you're the host of Pitt Tonight. I'm your friend. I came all the way from my South Oakland apartment.
You don't live in South Oakland. You live in Dawson.
I do live in South Oakland, just because I'm not across the boulevard.
Dominic's afraid to walk across the boulevard. Dominic once called me because he wanted to come. I invited him over to my house. He's like, "Andrew, I'm scared."
He lives really far away, and I don't have big arms. What do you expect?
Fair point. Fair point. Dominic does not have big arms.
And if I'm walking like this, in this outfit,
You're right.
I'm asking for something.
No, you're not. Because Pitch Night stands against judging people and beating people up.
You're right. You're right. I thought that would
I agree. I thought that would be a lot more pro not beating people up on how they look. But hey, play to your audience.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Dominic.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be back with more Pit Tonight. Welcome back to Pitch Night. I'm so excited to introduce our final guest for this season. He's a Pittsburgh native, a New York Times bestselling author, and an accomplished screenwriter. He wrote the book and the screenplay, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, and his new book, Mun Mun, is out now. So please welcome to the stage, Jesse Andrews.
Oh, this is for me?
Yeah,
It's
it's water.
there are objects in it. And it's
So embarrassing.
is there supposed to be?
No, it's probably dust.
No.
Here, have
We're
this.
good. We're good. I don't mean to be a diva.
You don't mean to be a diva. You look into the cup and like, oh.
There's objects in there. So, is this
Where?
don't act like you don't see it. Come on.
I can, and no one will prove me wrong. There's no camera from above.
I guess the question is, who do you trust?
So welcome to Pitt tonight.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's so great to be here.
Oh, thank you for coming
Yeah.
here. So this is your first television interview, right?
Yeah.
I've done this a few times. I'm not trying to flex on you.
You don't have to try. You're you just
got it.
Just
Got it.
Just got it. Look,
so-
I'm intimidated. No.
You don't have to be.
Here,
I wouldn't be.
I feel like we got off on the wrong foot. There's
Yeah, I
nothing in that
agree.
cup. It was just
you wanna
a
sip
bit.
then?
I'm not going to sip it.
Are you sure?
This one is.
There's nothing in it.
That one's yours.
Oh, actually, this
That actually is yours.
fair. So, explain to me the process of writing Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. Because I just watched it earlier this week because we just found out you were on the show, so I was super excited. What made you want to write that as like a screenplay?
Let's see here. So yeah, I wrote it first as a book and had no intention of adapting it. I just didn't think that was an opportunity that I was going to get. The main character of the book, who is also the narrator, it's in the first person, is himself a filmmaker. His name's Greg, and so he writes parts of the book in screenplay format. And so I think maybe producers, agents reading this book got the idea that I actually knew how to write screenplays, which I did not at all. And I just think screenplay format looks hilarious because, it's the font's huge. It's like Courier, no one writes in that. And like random words are just all caps, So it's like he opens the door and like, come on, what's the door? What are you doing?
It's irregular. It's like
Yeah.
It's like having Andy Kaufman in person. It's just crazy.
Thank you. So I get that a lot, more than I would like, to be honest. All right. So, and also the dialogue in screenplay format, if you're sort of kind of naturalistically pointless or aimless with it, and then you get to put it on these fancy little pedestals in the middle of the page, it just looks hilarious to me and kind of stupid. And so that was my reason for doing so. And then, producers came and said, we know that you're well-versed in this form, and would you like to try to get to do it for real? And I said, I have so much respect for the medium. Yes, please let me do that. I do not think that it's ludicrous or dumb, and I will take this seriously for money that I assume is going to happen. And then it did happen.
Good.
Yeah.
That would have been really unfair.
I got paid.
Good.
A little bit, I got paid.
I'm happy.
Don't ask how much. It's a little gauche.
It sounds like you want me to ask.
No, I could see it in your eyes. I could see the little thought bubble above the head. It's like,
How much money?
well, how much could it have been? No, I don't, it's between...
Over, under.
It's between me and God. That's what I call my accountant, because he runs everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Speaking of money, your new book, Mun Mun, it has a lot to do with money, it seems, right?
It does. Mun Mun is actually the word for money in the world of the book. Mm-hmm. So this book is set in a world much like our own. In fact, it's a kind of parallel reality where it's basically this country and this period of time, but everyone is proportional in size to how much mun or money they have. People vary quite a bit, so if you have nothing, you're 6-7 inches tall. The average person is like you and me, 5-6 feet, and then the richest character in the book is 150 feet tall. So it's like the borrowers, but horrifying, is a pitch that my publicist told me not to use. And, but, suck it. publicist.
Screw you.
So yes, and the main character at the start of the book, he's 13. He and his sister lose their parents in accidents that are related to being tiny because they have nothing, and so they embark on this kind of Dickens-ish journey through a few years and through a few different sectors of society in an attempt to scale up, as they call it. But it's brutally hard because social mobility in this world is kind of a myth, the way that it sort of is in our world. And I thought that this book would actually be, this premise would be a pretty dumb gimmick that I could write for 20 pages and then give up on because it was really crude and stupid. But instead, the similarities between that world and ours kept kind of compounding and multiplying, and it felt like a book about our time in a way that inequality is just the sort of the fact of being alive today, that some people have everything and most of us do not. Even screenwriters, if you can believe it.
So,
stop asking about them. My God, it's just, I can't. Can we move on?
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm so gauche.
Yeah.
Both this and then Me and Earl and the Dying Girl are centered around younger people. Is there a reason that you kind of like prefer that, or is there like a method for picking a younger character as like your main protagonist?
Yeah, I think. In fact, my first attempts at writing didn't have protagonists that were so young. They did not get published, and they were in fact pretty terrible. These were books that I wrote in my 20s and were, I was trying for something really kind of, ambitious and incredibly pretentious, and, I was just huffing David Foster Wallace, like, straight from the jar, just every morning, just, oh yeah, and then, like, 20 POVs, and what's going on in his head? Maybe he's insane, and he's talking to a flower, and stuff. And so that, and then you send that out to agents and publishers, and amazingly, they're not into it. There also was no plot, and so that factored in.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah, David Foster Wallace is wonderful, but only he gets to do him, is the moral of that story. And so, after 6 years or so of that, I was living in New York, working all kinds of god-awful jobs to pay rent and pay bills and stuff. And I got a lunch with someone who worked at a publisher who did young adult fiction, who had read some of this stuff and asked me if I was interested in doing not that, and maybe something else. And I, and specifically she said, what if you were to write a book for teens that was about teens and that was kind of funny? And immediately, I was envisioning a reader where I hadn't been before. Because, I thought, okay, if I'm writing for a teenage audience, I really have to justify their attention. And instantly, that made me 2,000% better as a writer, because the reader was no longer like a hostage in my head. We're like, they gotta read it, because it's the book that is the best of all time. And, and of course it was not. And no one has to read it. Anyone can put it down at any time. And for whatever reason, writing about teens brings me to that place. At some point, I don't know, I'll grow up. Also, I just am juvenile inside, and so that kind of helps. I can reach that register frighteningly easily, I would say.
Enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You also had said you do write about Pittsburgh sometimes. So what do you think there's anything like special about Pittsburgh to you, or anything that you're like, oh, Pittsburgh really inspires me in any way?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up here, and so it's what I know. And two, I mean, it's a place that is really specific, that, so much entertainment is set in places like New York or Los Angeles, because that's where it gets written, and that's also where the people who make the decisions as to whether to publish it and put it out in the world live. And so if you're writing stuff that's more familiar to them, maybe it has an edge. If you're a screenwriter, you sort of talk yourself into it. I have to get this executive on my side, and he's stuck in traffic for 5 hours every day, and his life is miserable, and so I have to write that. And so, I don't know, I think that's why stories about places like Pittsburgh are somewhat underrepresented, but I don't know, this place is like, you know, I still have yet to hear, outside of the Kroll show, like a Pittsburgh accent on TV, you know, that like...
Do you have one backstage? Do you have like a...
Have I been practicing it? Well, it's funny you should ask that. No, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Maybe I should. Okay. Yeah, oh, Ancient's never been down there. We were thinking about going down, buying some more pants, and that's all we ever do, really, these days is pants, you know. No, okay, I already lost it, but I had it. You heard it for... Stop it! All right, okay. All right. Okay.
Again.
Sorry.
It's fine.
God damn it. Can we redo that one? No,
Sure. So, what's it like being from Pittsburgh?
No, that was a
How
joke.
much?
I don't actually think we could. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm
As we
sorry.
go.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. Am I being a difficult guest? I want to be a good guest. I don't want to be an asshole guest.
It's okay.
Because I'm new to this. You've been doing this for 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Fair enough. Like, I'll second your. I'm feeling very nervous about all of this too because my
Okay.
parents are here, and it's very much just like I want to show them I can do this, but like
My parents are here?
mine are.
Oh.
Are your parents here? Did you invite them? I wouldn't mind if you did.
Let's move on. No, they are.
How
Yeah,
much?
they're
Oh,
here.
no,
They're
never
here.
mind.
They're, I'm not looking directly at them, but you know.
Would you like some water?
Does that have stuff in it? Did ghosts replace it? What was it looking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. It's really the abyss, you know, this thing.
Oh, I know.
This is some real kind of Hemingway stuff right here. This, you know.
So,
Okay.
have you had? Okay. You're too good for our water?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I decided I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just might be. Have you had any great fan experiences? Like anything really crazy?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've been on book tour. You know, just last week, a kid dabbed on me. I really didn't see it coming. He was 14.
Are you sure you just didn't sneeze? It just was like.
He went up for the high five. I was like, awesome. I changed this kid's life, I guess. I don't know. And then I was like, yeah, dog. And he was like, oh. Dabbed on you.
He went to a book signing to do that?
I went to his school to, you know, provide, here's a real life writer to be at your disposal, and great, someone to dab on, I guess. That's what that was for him. All right, Connor, you're not a good kid. And it's not gonna end well for you.
Are you gonna beat him up?
No, he's beating himself up as we speak. I know.
What school was it?
It was let's name the specific school.
Yeah,
it was
Connor, we're here to fight
No, it was
you.
outside Chicago. It was in the suburbs west of Chicago at a pretty nice school. Look, I mean, we scheduled the thing for 2 p.m., and when you do a school visit around 2 p.m., the kids are just totally checked out. It's it's sort of a hazing thing that publicists do to authors. Is that
Just
like,
get bullied by like kids and get dabbed on?
yeah, we think you're feeling a little too good about yourself, so 2 p.m. at, Forest Lake Mountain Park High School, and Connor's waiting.
Thank you so much for being here. We have a quick game, but I can't thank you enough.
Andrew, thank you so much. It is a pleasure to be here.
We'll be back with more Pitt tonight. Thank you so much. Welcome back to Pitt tonight. I'm with Jesse Andrews, and sorry. So you like movies, right?
They're okay.
Well,
I don't like movies. I love movies, Andrew.
oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever feel like there's like appropriate times to watch certain movies?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
I think
good.
it's very much a function of mood and where you are, yeah.
Good. Well, I have some scenarios I'm going to ask you. I'm going to give you two choices of movies, and you have to say which one's better for that situation.
Great.
So let's say, it's a cold winter day.
Okay.
It's a snow day.
Okay.
And it's chilly. You're inside, so you're not cold.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Oh, jeez, it's hot in here. No, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have to pick. You're going to watch a movie.
Yeah, cold day. Yeah.
These are your options.
Coco.
La La Land or Full Metal Jacket.
Okay.
What's a good Snowden Day movie?
Oh boy, they're both
and
perfect
also,
for
the
us.
correct answers in this game.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh, is it the weird answer or the right answer?
Fair
'Cause-
enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whichever one I can probably manipulate into being funny.
Am I not playing
That's
the
what I'm going to be
game
doing,
right?
yeah.
Did someone have a stroke over there? All right. Let's see here. This is
You can't bully them.
It's a cold. I'll bully who I want to bully. I'm 35. The 35-year-old goes to college. He gets to bully people. That's that's. I'm actually Milo Yiannopoulos. I'm not. No, we don't get to joke. I don't know. Whatever.
I would love that.
That guy's
dangerous.
I don't know if you would. He's kind of an
wouldn't.
asshole. But let's see here. Okay, so it's cold, and it's especially Pittsburgh winter. I live in Berkeley now, and we don't have
There are two
time.
movies.
Oh,
You're watching a movie.
Yeah, I know. I'm putting myself in. This
Okay, you're in the scene.
Yeah. It's La La Land. It's La La Land. I know Damien Chazelle. I don't want to make him mad. It's La La Land.
You're right. He's probably watching Pitt tonight.
He's the
the
huge
biggest-
fan. He's a huge fan.
So nice to hear.
No, it's a little embarrassing. It's like he's not cool about it.
Sometimes I just want some space, and
Yeah.
he's just always like messaging us like, "Can I be on the show?" No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah, I know.
The answer was Full Metal Jacket because you need a jacket in the cold.
I see. I
Yeah.
see how this is. You need a metal jacket in the
Well, a
cold,
full jacket.
a cold weather,
I haven't seen the movie.
full of metal.
But I assume it's just a story about a person who gets the jacket that's full of metal because it's cold.
You are in for a huge surprise.
Okay, well, we have two more movies for you.
Okay.
It's your first date. You kind of like this person enough. You feel like 5 months is the max you're gonna date, and you're okay with that. You're gonna put in a movie.
This is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Your options are Eat, Pray, Love, or God's Not Dead. This isn't a relationship that's meant to last, but it's meant to go some distance.
So it's
and
5
to enjoy-
months.
Well,
it's meant to go 5 months.
5 months-ish. It can go to 7.
Okay.
It can go
Maybe it could go 7 months if you're lying to ourselves, basically.
You could also die those 5 months, and those may be the happiest 5 months. You may have been meant to be together forever, but you just died. Just throwing that out there.
When you said first date, my head went to first ever.
Yes,
It's
this
a
is
very
also your
sad
first
thing
date.
Yeah. I think it'll be Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Pray, Love, and I don't have a rationale for it. But just look at her. She's so
She's really
pensive.
pixelated in this picture.
You know. Yeah. From here, it
Let me show you.
resolves. Oh yeah,
that
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't see it. This isn't for you.
This is for us.
This is our moment. It's our time.
Hey, Julia Roberts, Eat, Pray for a better picture. Am I right?
Wait, what was the reasoning?
Oh,
Because of 5 months relationship.
I don't know. I just think it seems like a good movie. And this doesn't seem like a good movie, so that was my reason.
All right.
So you're a substitute teacher, and you have to and you're not really that good of a teacher, so you're just gonna put a movie in. You have two options for this 9th grade biology class. Dallas Buyers Club, or my favorite movie, Seinfeld.
Does he know? Okay. Let's see here. Well, I want to be liked. I'm a substitute teacher. I put in a movie, so my goal is I want the kids to like me. I'm not going to get.
Do you think about I want people to
Dabbed
like
on.
me too?
Well, I want you to like me.
hope-
That's true.
Okay, movies that you think.
I like how both of these have a guy going, hey!
Well, I think it's because they have similar plots.
Yeah, it's true. I'm trying to think, which
No
should I
AIDS
laugh
medication
more at?
for you.
Yeah. It's I think it's got to be Seinfeld, the movie. It's the movie that I'm putting in front of the kids. That's what it is. That's the answer. Yeah.
That's correct.
That's correct. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I like this movie as well.
Is there a why? Why it's correct?
Because the other one's sad.
Can I meet your writers after this? Could you take me to the writers' room?
They aren't proud of me either. It's fine.
Do you want to talk about it?
Shannon, I want to talk about it. Sometimes I feel like Shannon Kelly makes me feel small and like I'm not good at telling jokes.
I just realized I didn't want to talk about it. So let's.
You're an older brother figure in this scenario, and you have to recommend a movie. You're like, kid, you have to watch this movie. This is gonna make you a man.
Older brother figure or literally an older brother?
Older brother
Or am I
figure.
just, did I
No,
find
this
a
is
kid
like-
and I'm
you're-
like, you need a vaguely older brother guy to hit you in the head.
You're giving guidance to someone. Like if you're a sophomore in high school, this is a 8th grader, and you're on the bus together, and you're like, hey kid, this is a good movie.
Okay.
Your options are,
Okay.
so many good movies out there.
On the bus. He's in 8th grade.
Yeah.
I'm sitting next to him, so I'm pretty low on the social totem pole.
Yeah, you're not cool either, so you're not gonna.
Yeah. And he knows it.
The new version of The Great Gatsby.
Okay.
Or Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. I'm also in this position because he is like, he's probably pretty popular, and that's the problem.
Oh, he's
is that,
picking
like,
on you.
As the older brother, you're like, I should be the popular one, and yet it's him. And how did it get here? How did I had this 2-year head start. 2 years I had on this kid. And, his hair is good, and he's good with girls. I'm not that good with girls, and he has this confidence.
talk about
but where
it?
did it come from? Where did it? What does he know that I don't know? There must be something. Do you want to see the new version of The Great Gatsby? That was the wrong one. It was a Sunset Boulevard, but my instincts were wrong. My instincts are always wrong. That's why I'm here. That's why he's him and I'm me. Thank you. Thank you.
You're right.
I've been workshopping that one.
I can tell. That was beautiful.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I don't need to do this.
Don't feel bad.
Okay.
Do you want some more water?
I-
Okay. Over, under.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask how much you got paid for.
Oh, the over-under?
Okay. You have to write a new book, and it has to be based on one of these two movies.
Uh-oh. Okay.
The Expendables or Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked.
Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked. Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked.
Yeah, that's the right
Alvin
answer.
and that's so easy. All right, because first of all, the font is tiny. Because it's like the thing they do with the voice, and they make it small, and so you can't even read it. You could put anything.
Do you
in
feel
there.
like that the plot of Mun Mun relates to Alvin and the Chipmunks because they're both tiny?
Uncomfortably much?
Hey guys.
I get that all the time. It's sad. Read my book. I don't know. Please read it. Please. That's the
It's just
reason
pictures
I'm
of
here.
Theodore.
Yeah. He looks good.
He does look
You
good.
know.
Well, thank you so
He's
much.
lost weight. Thank you. It's been.
You
didn't dab.
No.
Yeah.
You're right.
Never let go.
Do we have that here?
Never let go.
Oh my God, this is.
Please don't let go.
Guys,
I need
this
this.
is Pitt tonight. We'll be back with our musical guest. Hopefully, Jesse Andrews will let go of my hand.
Thanks.
Check out our final guest of the evening on Spotify and SoundCloud. Give it up for Amir Myles.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Yeah. She said it's the right time. Facing up by the wayside. I'm uptown where you can lose your mind. I got caught up on the wrong side with the lifeline. She's too close to me. Just looking at her face, she's not afraid. I'll put you in your place, you gotta make known. I find another way, yeah. Oh, no, no. Yeah. I know what you like, what's your type. Look at the way you move. I'm not on the side, not at night. Look at the way I do. I'm not being dishonest. I can't make any promises. Oh, girl, we can get on it. Tell me why you're acting. Watch it go to waste like it should. Always on the flame. Watch it float away, that's understood. I should leave it, babe. I'ma get locked away. It's looking good. And just looking at her face, she's not afraid, no. I'll put you in your place, you got me. We'll find another way. Yeah, one. I know what you like and what you type. I know what you like and what you type. I'm coming in with no promises. I'm coming in with no promises. I know what you like and what you type. I know what you like and what you type. I'm coming in with no promises. With no promises. Oh, no. Oh, I'm coming. Oh, yeah. I'm coming in with no promises. Yeah. 1, 2. I know what you like and what you type. I know what you like and what you type. I'm coming in with no promises. I'm coming in with no promises. I know what you like and what you type. I know what you like and what you type. I'm coming in with no promises. With no promises. No promises. I'm coming in with no promises.
Hey guys, welcome back to Pitt tonight. This is our season 3 finale. I just want to thank all of our wonderful guests. Thank you guys so much for being here. It means the world to us. This is our 3rd season, and a lot of people who started Pitt tonight are graduating, and I just can't thank you guys enough for allowing people like me and Annabelle to follow in your footsteps, and really thank you. Also, Annabelle, please get up here. These are for you. This show would not happen without Annabelle. None of this would happen without her. She's just the best. I love her so much. Want to date JK? No, yeah, I'm kidding. But no, I want to thank all of the seniors who have done so much for Pitt tonight, all of our guests. But most importantly and most personally, I want to thank my parents. Thank you guys for believing in me. This means the world to me. I know you guys know that, and thank you for being so supportive of this, because I know it's probably not easy having a kid say, I want to do comedy. Also, I'm going to host a late night talk show at Pitt that's like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I know that that's not really, there's not books that say like, hey, if your kid wants to host a moderately successful YouTube channel, these are the steps you take. But thank you guys for believing in me so much. I love you both so much. I love all of you so much for coming, but them more. Thank you so much. This has been season 3 of Pitt Tonight. Stay tuned for season 4. We love you. Have a great night, and hit it.